So the feeling would be, I want to be here, I want to be solid, right? And then I'm gonna let it go. Now I'm loaded, now I can go start, go, now finish it, good.
Oh, there it is.
See what I'm getting at? And he didn't say, hold the club like a live bird. He said, hold the club like a live bird until you're about to hit the golf ball, then snap its head off.
That's what was actually said.
Yeah. And, you know,
How many times have I said one more to you?
One more, Todd. Let me have one more.
Todd, just one more. Oh, yeah. There's the one.
So your swing's changed a little bit since last time I saw you.
You know, one thing I look at in a swing is if I were to keep my left heel down, that's as far as I can take the club back. And, you know, I wanted to get a few more out of it. And so I really realized that, like Nicholas, I can let my left heel and my left knee go a little bit. I still maintain my anchor point. I'm not moving very far off the golf ball, but it does increase my end range of motion.
Right.
Okay, I learned that from my boy Jimmy Jones on the East Coast. I told you about him. And it's given me 20 yards. I picked up a couple miles per hour club speed just like that.
Losing distance is a big issue as you get, especially past 50.
Yes.
What happens? You know, we lose our range of motion. I can tell you right now, you know, when you were 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, when I got to really spend a lot of time with you in your 20s, you could get further back and keep that heel on the ground. You don't have the same range of motion. So here's the thing that I show people this all the time, especially guys that I'm working with that are over 50. I bring up Sam Snead, and I show them how when he starts his golf swing and takeaway, solid, right? He gets to about here, like I always have, and you know this, I've always called it a top-down coil.
Yes.
So, you know, if I start moving the lower body, I break down early and my upper body falls. Like that's the basement, right?
Yep.
So a top-down coil would be, I'm gonna start a nice one-piece takeaway, wherever the arms stay in front, everything stays in structure, right? I get to a point depending on my flexibility, and then my hips kick in, right? And then I get to a point and my heel goes. What I show people in this video is you watch Sam Snead, solid, solid, solid. At the top, same thing like you look at Nicholas. Look at when the left heel started to move. It started to move when it needed to. So like if I can increase my end range by letting this go, but that doesn't, I don't start it with that.
That's great, yeah.
The other thing I think that's real important, you know, you talk about ground force. Well, you know, if I push a little bit down into the ground and then I start going here and then I get light. Well, Nicholas talked about this all the time. You know, squash the bug.
Exactly, squash the tomato, we told, yep,
So
exactly.
the cool thing about that, that also gives you a trigger to start your downswing. So top down coil, ground up transition, right? So.
Why he was my coach, you guys, because everything he said made sense to me. You know, for those of you who don't know, this is Todd Soanes. Todd Soanes is my mentor to this day. He was my coach from age 12 years old on. Took me to be the top player in the country when I was a young guy, and it's great to be out here teaching alongside you again. We've had a series together. You know, Kevin will give you guys some links to go back and check out our other series together, which was great. We had a lot of positive feedback. I'm going to give the boys a shout out. This is my air joiner move. This is Isaiah Joyner and Jimmy Jones. I appreciate you guys. I've picked up about 25 yards since Connecticut. So, you know, another link to that video talking about my first experience with just a swing later, letting myself go a little bit. Now, my swing's always been like this. But once again, when my playing days, which was 22 and under, I could have this much turn without having anything break down in my lower body or any kind of let go. Guys, to get that same turn that I want badly, and I want to get my driver back closer to parallel because I haven't sniffed parallel in a while, even with my driver, I need to let that left side go a little bit. So here, it's interesting.
The key is when to let it go. Do it right away. When you start going this way, what happens is your body goes over here. Well, now all it can do is go this way, right? There's the hook, right?
It's exactly
if I power through it, I'm going to block it. So the feeling would be I want to be here, I want to be solid, right? And then I'm going to let it go. Now I'm loaded. Now I can go that way. So watch this. So set up to this ball. I'm going to use your alignment rod here. Okay, so get set. Okay, I want you to start top, like we've always talked about,
Yep.
top down coil. Start, go. Now finish it. Good.
Oh, there it
See
is.
what I'm getting at? That's a great way to
What a
practice
great way
it,
to
just
show me
kinda
that, by
going
the way.
1, 2.
You know what? I'm going to really feel like it's, yes, a top-down coil. I love how
and
you
then
phrase
a ground
that, by
up
the way.
uncoil. So top down coil, and then a ground up.
Anybody
uncoil.
who's followed what we talk about, this is big, because Todd's always taught me, you know, this initiates, right? The hips then follow. You know, a feeling that I've had to help people with that is I really do a good job of keeping my right knee flexed early in my swing so I don't over rotate and get that pressure back early, right, into the heel. The other part about that is, you know, I really think that it's important to understand the pressure builds in the feet more than it is with lateral movement of the lower body in the backswing, much more of that upper body turning on top of the lower body. So that pressure that's built into the ground is coming from that top down coil.
Right.
And then that power coming through, no more power can be put out in any athletic motion than it can from the ground.
Right.
On the way down. Makes
You know,
perfect sense.
We
Makes
couldn't
perfect
run
sense.
very fast if we were running in the air, right?
So I'm going to delay it a little bit and then let it go. There it is. Best
There
one
it
of the day
is.
right there.
Wow.
Best one of the day.
That's kind of fun to watch.
I mean, but you know what's so great about it is, and I want you to talk about this for a second because we're on this topic. You and I were having a chat the other day, talking about your time out here. And how about you with all the things that you've had to deal with your body over the years? I mean, you look at Todd, yes, he's in great shape. But what have you had to feel over the years yourself in order to get that same result and be efficient?
Well, and I can't get, I mean, you know, you have to play with what you've got.
Yep.
I cannot get the same speed I had. And that question was answered for me. I was at a Top 100 Teachers Summit that Golf Magazine put on, and they zoomed in so we could talk to him, Bryson, right? And we could ask him questions. So someone in the audience asked him a great question. They said, if you could do one thing for more power, more distance, what would you do? What do you think he said?
I didn't have this answer until you told me. I cannot believe you said grip strength.
Yeah, he said, I would work out on my grip strength. He said, because your brain, you know, when you have weaker hands, what happens is you have to squeeze the club harder to hold it, right? But if you have stronger hands, you don't have to squeeze it until the moment of impact, because what happens is your brain knows when that club smashed into the golf ball, well, I got to be hanging on. But if I start by hanging on, then I can't really increase that pressure. Does that make sense?
I've never had the baby bird analogy, the toothpaste, don't squeeze it out. I mean, when I'm hitting a drive hard, the toothpaste is coming out.
Well, especially in impact.
It's
And
a 6 or 7 out of 10.
I always call it an increasing grip pressure. I see so many amateurs that have a decreasing grip pressure. And what I mean by that is they hold the club too tightly at address, and by the time they're hitting it, they're decreasing their grip pressure. Whereas, you know, if I'm in here and I've got some waggle, right, now I'm holding it securely, you know, and it's interesting, the live bird thing, you know who said it? Sam Snead. And he didn't say, hold the club like a live bird. He said, hold the club like a live bird until you're about to hit the golf ball, then snap its head off.
Is that way on? That's what was actually said?
Yeah, and you know, that's
It
kind of
gets
gross.
misinterpreted over time.
Well, it makes people gross. It's gross. So we stopped saying snap its head off. But that's what he talked about. He talked about how, you know, he's here, he's holding it securely. A live bird means it's not fluttering.
Not fluttering.
He's not letting it go. So it's secure, right? But he's kind of oiling the wrist. But then as he gets into it, boom. And you know, you look at long drive guys and every freaking vein is popping out of everywhere.
Everywhere.
You can't tell me they're holding it light.
Shouldn't
That's
I
what
feel
Bryson said. He said your brain knows. Now, if you can't hold the club at a certain, right, at a speed, even if you could swing it harder, your brain will not let you. That's why grip strength is so important. So when your hands are strong, well, then your brain gets the green light that, hey, I can swing harder and still hold the club.
I'm going to hit one more. I'm going on the left side here,
Like I
Kev.
said, what's
left
time to get
side
dark here?
Yeah, no, I'm just feeling it though. You know, it's just, this is good stuff. Here we go. I want to let it go. I'm going to let it build up a little better rhythm. Oh my gosh, dude.
Wow, there is no curve on that ball.
How about that one
Just
right there,
launched.
huh? Oh yeah.
Old
Okay.
times.
You know what? The big pickup for me is when to allow, in my terms, everything to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's stable.
Yep. Now go.
The minute my hands passed my right hip and got about belt high,
Now go.
Here.
Right.
and that's game changing.
Yeah.
Because I wondered why I'm like, oh, is it just I lose a structure from the ground up? Whatever happens. I didn't have like a real reason for myself, but I'd be on the course and I would do the let go move, and I'm like, I'm killing it. 10 out of 14 drives were awesome.
Yeah.
There was 4 that I'm like, if I went and played a tournament,
you wouldn't do
I
it.
would never let that happen, just because I know that shot's in there. And you just told me exactly why that happens. That's awesome.
And again, as a coach, I would say, hey, Adam, if you're standing on a par 4 that's 420 yards, there's no reason to do that.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now, if you're standing on a par 5 that's 550 and you can hit it in 2, and you want to lay it, you want to lay it on it, go.
Hey,
but
go.
I think, practicing it the right way, and kind of going 1, 2, right? Wow, how good is that?
At Forzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.